Welcome to 5 Minutes, your quick dive into the wide-ranging world of insurance, technology, and leadership. I'm Miguel Edwards, and I'll be your guide as we explore these topics that are transforming not just the insurance industry, but the business world at large. Along with sharing observations I've made over the span of my career in insurance, technology, and operations, I'll be chatting with some of the brightest minds in business and leadership. Whether you're a seasoned executive or a rising star, an industry expert, or just curious about how technology is revolutionizing insurance, this is your perfect spot for your weekly dose of insights. This is 5 Minutes. So David, welcome to 5 Minutes. Thank you for making the time to join us.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Miguel.
Awesome. Well, there's a question that I like to ask all my guests because there's usually an interesting story.
Okay.
How the heck did you get into this industry?
I think with most people, the insurance they don't pick it, it picks them, right?
Exactly.
So typical, got out of college with a bachelor's, but a minor in computer science.
Okay.
And the integration company I happened to get with, a lot of the gigs just happen to be insurance companies. And after a while, that's where your expertise is. And you know what? It's actually pretty darn exciting when you think about it. You know, it's not something I would have thought about right out of college, but really enjoy working in the insurance industry and glad to be a part of it.
That's exactly right. I share the same thoughts, David, because I find I fell into it by accident as well, and I call this industry sexy. Sexy.
Okay.
Yes,
that's good.
Yes,
sexy.
Because there's just so many interesting dynamics. And look, all the ball guys were bringing sexy back.
Yeah, sexy back. I like that. I'm going to use that going forward.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely. Good deal.
Yeah.
So David, why don't you talk me through your transition? Because it's fascinating how you carrier CIO, and now you're working for an InsurTech.
Yeah.
Explain a little bit about that.
Happy to. Really enjoyed my time as a carrier CIO, but I saw a number of common themes and problems. And one of them happened to be in the core policy admin space with life and annuity, the fact that I just wasn't seeing enough innovation.
Right.
And was really complaining actually to a friend about the challenges with these platforms and how they don't seem to solve the fundamental problems that are out there. Well, just so happens a group that I had worked with on a newer era of platform a number of years ago, I got to look at what they were doing, and I absolutely fell in love.
Really?
So I said, sign me up, let me help you take this to market. And that's how I got there. Just found a group of people that are solving this core issue in a new and very interesting way, and what I call a way of achieving really sustainable speed to market versus get something in and then clean it up over the next 10 years, which seems to be the trap we always seem to be in with these new platforms.
Well, we call that the MVP now.
Yeah.
Right. We call it MVP, and then for phase one, and then there's always this phase two that lasts for 10 years, right?
You know, there's nothing wrong with MVP as long as there actually is something behind those next phases. But I think a lot of companies fall into the trap of getting that in and then never getting the value beyond that, right? You want to get in fast, but you want to have that sustained approach.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So these folks that intrigue you, these are the folks at Penn River that you
Penn River, my co-founders.
Love that.
My co-founders.
So give me, what was it that excited you about it? What's that unique value proposition?
Yeah, well, you can imagine folks that have done this 3 times now.
Yeah.
So they were part of 2 successful policy admin builds before. And so they saw what worked, they saw what didn't work, and able to take that into a modern cloud-based core platform. And really, one thing that's unique to us is we can provide that innovation very specific to a carrier without jeopardizing the viability of the platform and ending up with a custom platform that can't be upgraded.
So it can scale
we can run in the cloud. We can allow a carrier to really innovate on our platform and still take releases and still ride our innovation, but also ride their innovation. And the platforms that are out there, they might be able to get you up pretty quick. They might run in the cloud, but you're really forced into their model of how to put up a product. And oftentimes you have to get in line and wait for their people to put that product up. And we have a way where we can, through a partner ecosystem, through using our tools, that we don't become the bottleneck, and we give you the best of both worlds. The innovation of our platform and the innovation of the carrier.
Got it. Awesome.
David, you're forcing me to remember my time as a CIO of a life company. And I remember, the Holy Grail was really wrapped around NIGO,
right.
Kind of resolving that, or maybe kind of digitization of the APS and, MIB, RX, all of that stuff, right? What is the innovation that you guys are seeing in the life space now? Because that's a fascinating element for me.
You know what? That's still around, and that's getting better and better. Now we're bringing AI to NIGO. We're bringing AI to underwriting. We're bringing AI. When I say we as an industry, right? We're bringing AI to that quarterback coach. It's not replacing the human, but it's driving a lot. It reads those APS statements. Before we ship that to a lower cost offshore environment. Now AI can read that for us and provide that information and that assist. So a lot of that's going on. So there's a tremendous amount of innovation going on around that area. There's innovation in the core platform in our space. So bringing that digital process all the way through from front to back.
Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.